America. This election, I bring you an America that promises a new way ahead. A new way filled with freedom.
Donald Trump will bring this country a change you can trust. The last 4 years have sent our country into a downward spiral, and we must return to where we were before the last election. Donald Trump will pull our economy up from the ditches it is in. He will make life affordable for the American people. He will be tough on crime and support our military, and he will make you remember why America is the greatest country in the world.
This is Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 United We Stand mock election rally. Gathered before us today are the students, faculty, staff, and administrators of Corbin High School, along with distinguished guests, friends, and family, all of which I'm sure are very excited to see this performance. Participants have worked hard to give you a glimpse into the current presidential race and to show you important issues, who the candidates are, and the importance of voting. All of their campaigning for the last couple of weeks has culminated into this moment, so be respectful, make sure to vote, and get fired up for this event. First, let me introduce our former presidents who will be with us today. Please welcome former President George W. Bush and his wife Laura Bush. Former President Bill Clinton and his wife Hillary Clinton. Now I ask that you please rise and remain standing while we introduce our guests and candidates. Please welcome our current president, Mr. Joe Biden, and his wife, Jill. Now, let us welcome our candidates. For our Democratic nominees, current Governor of Minnesota, Mr. Tim Walz, and his wife, Gwen Walz. Current Vice President of the United States, Ms. Kamala Harris, and her husband, Mr. Doug Emhoff. For our Republican nominees, Senator J.D. Vance and his wife, Usha Vance. Former President Mr. Donald Trump and his wife, Melania. I ask that you remain standing for the presentation of our nation's colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Now, we will take time to hear firsthand the nominees' plans for America. We will first hear from our Democratic nominees.
Hello, everyone. I am Gwen Walls, and I would love to talk about my loving husband, Tim. From educator to governor, my loving husband, Tim, has always been for the people, especially our students. He has changed so many lives and will continue to do so in all of my years of knowing and loving Tim. Watching him work with so many different people has been a privilege. My husband is always dedicated to making sure everyone's lives matter. Whether in the school system or in the White House, I know that Tim will advocate for every citizen. He is a great person of character, known for his dedication, hard work, and unwavering commitment to excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, I want our country to be a place of freedom for all. America is where dreams come true, and I know that Harrison Walz in the White House will mean that they are coming true. My husband will prioritize to make America the best country for you and your needs, and he will bring civility back to the dinner table. Now please give it up for my husband, Tim Walz, everyone.
I would just really appreciate it if we could get another big round of applause for Gwen Walls. Isn't she great? I think she's great. Look, I know before this week, many of you didn't know who I was. And I've had the great opportunity to meet and get to know many of you this week, but for those I haven't met, I'm Tim Walz. I'm the governor of Minnesota, and I'm a vice presidential candidate. I've worn a lot of hats in my life: brother, son, teacher, coach, U.S. congressman, and governor. But let me tell you, no title has been as fulfilling as getting to work to make the lives of people in this country better. That's what I'm here to talk about today, what we can accomplish together. I'm not here to push labels. I'm here because I believe in something bigger than politics. I believe in helping people, because at the end of the day, the family down the road might not think like you, might not pray like you, might not love like you, but you look out for them because they look out for you. And the great thing is, this country is at its best when we work together. Think of Franklin Roosevelt, who pulled this country out of the Great Depression and created Social Security. Or John Kennedy, who told us we choose to reach for the stars, not because it was the easy thing to do, but because it was hard, because that's what Americans do. These leaders stood up for regular people, people like you and me. They believed in fighting for a future where everyone has a fair shot, and that's what I believe in too. When I was a teacher, I saw kids from all walks of life, and some had every opportunity in the world right in front of them. Others had to fight for everything they got. But I'm proud to have been in those classrooms, encouraging them to dream big, because I believe that's what this country should be about, making sure everyone has their shot. Take young families today. So many working so hard, juggling multiple jobs, and still can't afford to buy a home. It's not because they're not trying. It's not because they're lazy. It's because the system is stacked against them, and that's not fair. We're going to change that by helping them with down payments so they can get a foothold in the housing market and build the future. Let's talk about healthcare. Look, I know you've heard all kinds of things about healthcare and politics, but here's what matters. No one should have to choose between putting food on the table and paying for medicine. Let me tell you what we're going to do. We're going to raise minimum wage so that when you work hard, you get ahead. We'll cut taxes for middle-class families and small businesses so people can thrive. We'll fight back against big corporations that are taking advantage of hardworking Americans. And we'll protect Social Security and Medicare because we believe in honoring the dignity of our seniors. And of course, we're going to invest in you, our young people. That means making sure community colleges are affordable and supporting schools that help students from all backgrounds succeed. Your future matters. You are the generation that will lead this country. And I can't wait to see what you'll do. I don't want to be a doom and gloom vice president, and I don't have to be, because as Americans, we have always risen to the challenge. And now is no different. Listen, there is no Democratic problem. There is no Republican problem. There is only the American problem. And the only way we will ever solve it is by coming together. And you, yes, you have the power to make that future possible. Whether you're voting for the first time, volunteering, or just speaking up for what you believe in, your voice matters. You are the generation that will lead this country. And I cannot wait to see what you'll do. As Franklin Roosevelt once said, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. So let's move forward with courage. Let's break down the barriers that divide us. Let's build a future we can all be proud of. Thank you, and God bless America.
Wow, that was a beautiful speech. That was amazing. You may not recognize me, and that's all right. My name is Doug Imhoff, and I am Kamala Harris's husband. And it is a great pleasure to be speaking with all of you today. I'm here to introduce my wife, who will shortly come out and share with you her plans to give this country a brighter and a better future. And although I know I've spoken to a couple of you, and I've lived here my whole life, so I can say this. I know that there are many of you in the crowd who don't really like her, don't really like Kamala Harris, and that's all right. But I implore you earnestly to listen to what she has to say, because what she says may affect your life for the next 4 years, because what she says, you might find that you agree with her more than you disagree with her. But most importantly, listen to what she says, because she is an American too. And the most American thing that we can do is respect and listen to each other, even though we have different opinions. Now, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce you all to my beautiful wife, Vice President Kamala Harris.
Thank you, Dougie. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I stand before you today with a profound sense of honor. I feel both excited and deeply humbled to be standing in front of the very backbone of our country. People like my own mother, our beloved Shemaiah, and so many others who work tirelessly to uplift their families and communities. In my role as Vice President, I had the privilege of witnessing the incredible resilience and strength of the American people. It is your determination that fuels my spirit each and every day. It is the stories of everyday heroes, parents, educators, healthcare workers, and community leaders that fuel my commitment in our shared fight of freedom and justice. A fight that knows no boundaries. A fight that protects the freedom to vote, the freedom to be safe from gun violence, the freedom to live free without hate, the freedom to love who you love openly with pride, the freedom to acknowledge our full and true history, and the freedom for a woman to do what she wants to do with her body without the government telling her what to do. America, our fight will not be easy. We will face opposition and there will be challenges. They will try to tell us we can't, but we will come back and fight harder than ever before. They will not break us, America. We are not going back. We the people must move forward, because I can guarantee you, we are not going back. Standing here today, I make you a promise. My brothers and sisters, I promise to listen. I promise to fight for you with every ounce of my being. And above all, I promise to never back down from what is right, and I promise no one will ever be above the law. As the first female vice president, and proudly the first woman of South Asian and African American descent, I have devoted my career to breaking barriers and promoting greater representation for minorities. During my time as Attorney General of California, I focused on justice reform, implementing initiatives that addressed inequality and improved the safety of communities. In the Senate, I championed vital legislation on healthcare, immigration, and environmental justice, proving my passion and ambition for the American people. Of all of my accomplishments, the one I cherish most is my time as a prosecutor, where my passion for the people was truly born. It was there that I discovered my purpose, to fight for the silenced and ensure that every American's voice is heard. I owe a special thanks to my high school friend Wanda, whose support helped me find my true love, the American people. I believe that every individual, regardless of their skin color or who they choose to love, deserves not just the chance to get by, but the chance to get ahead. America, we are charting a new way forward towards a future with a robust and growing middle class. We know that a thriving middle class has always been the keystone of America's success, and building that middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency. This mission is deeply personal to me. As many of you know, the middle class is where I come from, and I understand the hopes and dreams that drive working families. I envision an opportunity economy where every American, whether you live in a rural area, a small town, or a bustling city, has a fair shot to compete and succeed. I will unite entrepreneurs, innovators, and community leaders to create jobs that will uplift every corner of our nation. Together, we will lower the cost of living for 100 million working-class citizens, making it possible for families not just to get by, but to thrive. Folks, that's not all. We will address America's housing shortage, safeguard Social Security, and strengthen healthcare access, ensuring that our nation continues to lead the world. This is not just about economic growth. This is about building a society where every person has the ability to achieve the American dream. I stand before you today, not just as a candidate, but as a fellow American, deeply committed to our shared fight for a better future. Together, you and I will forge a path that ensures every voice is heard, every dream is realized, and every family has the opportunity to move forward. We will face challenges, yes, but we will confront them with courage and unity. America, we know our strength comes from our diversity, resilience, and steadfast commitment to justice and equality. As we forge this new beginning, I encourage each of you in this room to let your voice be heard. America, get out there, fight for it. Get out there and vote for it. And together, let us write the next great chapter in the most extraordinary story ever told. Thank you. Thank you all.
Now we will hear from our Republican candidates.
Hello, everyone. I'm Usha Vance, the loving wife of J.D. Vance, and I would like to say it is an honor to be able to introduce my husband to you all today. He is a wonderful man and the father of our 2 boys and our girl. You see, my husband has one goal in mind, to help the American citizens. J.D. has gone through many hardships in his life and wants to put those behind him and do everything in his power to help the American citizens and ensure that you don't have to endure the same hardships he did. With Donald Trump and my husband in office, they can help America overcome poverty and to grow the American industry. J.D. is not here for show nor for fame. He is here for one purpose and one purpose only: to allow America to become one of the strongest nations in the world once again. So with this said, I welcome my husband, J.D. Vance, to the stage.
Hello, my fellow Americans. My name is J.D. Vance, and first of all, I would like to thank my wonderful wife for the fantastic introduction and say that it's great to be here today with all you fine people. Now, for those of you who may not know who I am, I'm the Republican candidate for Vice President and an avid conservative who's here to fight for your rights. Now, you may be wondering, who is this man to stand here and claim he's going to fight for my rights? Well, to put it simply, I'm a fellow American who shares the same rights as you. So you can call me selfish, but I don't want anyone to take them away. I don't want the left to continue to hinder our God-given right to protect ourselves while they continue to arm their security with firearms they deem to be too dangerous for our use. I don't want our money to be thrown at foreign countries while Americans continue to struggle. I don't want our border to be left unsecured and have all manner of illegal immigrants enter our country. What I want is change. No, what we need is change. We need to start getting things done for the American people. We need to stop this political showmanship that keeps us from getting anything done in the Senate. The American people deserve more. They deserve a competent government. They deserve people who do things, not just talk about doing things. It's time that we put America first. It's time that we make America great again. We need to use the money that we've been sending to other countries to help our people, to help our homeless, to help our veterans, before we go away giving away our taxpayers' hard-earned money. What we need is for you to vote to fix this country. What we need is for you to vote for Donald Trump. Now, you all know Donald Trump is more than qualified to be president, but you may be wondering what qualifications I have to be vice president. Well, I could talk about some fancy college I attended in my time in the Marines, but I won't, because that alone shouldn't determine if you're qualified to be vice president. Instead, the most important quality should be their love for America. I encourage you to look and see who wants America to succeed, for who wants to see the American people prosper, for who wants to see America stay the greatest country in the world, for someone who will get legislation passed and do everything in their power to help the American people. And after you've done all that, the most capable candidate should hopefully be plain enough. And if it isn't, then I encourage you to think about what's best for you and your wallet. Because at the end of the day, the so-called great things the Democrats have planned won't be free. And as usual, the American taxpayer will have to foot the bill despite any previous promises the Democrats may have made. Now, I would like to thank you all for coming out here to hear me speak today. It really shows that you care about the future of this country. And if that is true, I'd like to stress the importance of your vote in this election. It is up to you to save this country and the American way of life. We need you to put America first. We need you to make America great again. Thank you.
Good morning. I want to thank each of you for being here, and I thank you each for having me. As many of you know, I am Melania Trump, the former First Lady of the United States and the wife of Donald J. Trump. This morning, I am beyond proud to stand with such an eminent leader who has repeatedly sacrificed because of his deep love and loyalty for this country. I have never seen someone as considerate and devoted as my husband. His patriotism for the United States remains unmatched. There is no assassination attempt on my husband's life that will deter him from advocating for this nation. My husband has a heart that adheres to the citizens of America. And if given the opportunity, he will implement transformations to this country that will make this nation flourish just as he did before. My husband and Vance have worked vigorously and efficiently to make America their priority. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a complete honor to introduce you to the man determined to keep his promise, to make America great again. Please, take a moment to welcome my husband, Donald J. Trump.
just get this away really quick. Thank you. And I want to begin by thanking my wife, Melania. Incredible speech. Probably one of the best speeches I've ever heard. And Vance, he did a great job too. And let's give a hand to all the people that's worked so hard to put this together. Come on. So now, before we begin, I would like to thank everyone for having me here. It's great to be here in one of the best high schools, probably the best high school in Kentucky and possibly the world. I also want to thank everyone who has put in time to help make this election possible for both of our parties. We are grateful and we love you. Thank you for your time and effort these past few weeks. Now, I want to begin by saying, we all look around in our daily lives, and up to this point we have seen lots of terrible things, including high prices for pretty much everything. Just go to a store or gas station, you'll see. A world that seems to be headed down the path of a third world war, and a totally weak and corroded border. I just have to ask, what is going on with our country? What is going on? We used to be the world's #1 superpower. No question was ever raised about that. It was a fact. But now, hardworking Americans can't even spend less than hundreds of dollars on groceries per month. Housing costs have increased dramatically, and we all know about the cost of gas, especially in this town. Clearly, we can all see how terrible our current administration's policies are for the economy, as the people of our great nation can barely afford to live. Now, I can promise you all in this room and in our nation that if elected, I would put a stop to this immediately. In terms of a plan, I have way more than just concepts of a plan. I can promise you that I would begin by creating a federal housing program that would use funds to purchase large amounts of land and build government-subsidized housing on it. These houses would cost practically nothing to the American consumer and be much more affordable than private housing. I will also make gas prices cheaper to American consumers by instituting the largest energy plan in our nation's history. This plan includes opening a lot more pipelines as well as green energy like solar and hydroelectric. Now, speaking of the American consumer, I will also enact tax cuts as I did in my first term for all Americans. That way we can begin to get our people's heads out of the waters of debt and financial instability. We need these tax cuts, folks. We need them. All of this sounds pretty great, right? Now, the question I get asked a lot is, how do you plan to pay for all of this? Because it is very expensive, just like the Democrats' policies. And to that, I'd say I would not raise taxes, but I would raise tariffs on countries that the current administration is letting rip us off like China. Everyone knows that almost everything bought in America today has a little sticker on the bottom of it that says, Made in China. That's because they are totally ripping us off in terms of trade. They're stealing our workers because companies outsource jobs to them because it's cheaper. My tariff plans for them would not make it cheaper, but a lot more expensive. That way, companies would have no choice but to move back to our country and produce high-quality materials made in America. A problem I just described is one common for us now because of our current administration's weak and downright terrible international policies. We're a joke in the international community now, an absolute joke. Other countries now see us as weak and with no backbone after the last 4 years. Examples of this include our disastrous evacuation of Afghanistan, a war in Europe, and Hamas and Israel pretty much burning each other to the ground. Last time I checked, we were supposed to be the country that stopped these things from happening. Well, if I'm elected, we will be. With the excess money from my tariffs, I would increase our military budget exponentially, as well as negotiate with world leaders to stop the madness that we see every day that's going on in the world. This money would go to American soldiers, not Ukrainian, not Israelis, but American. Now, some people disagree, including our current administration, and say that none of this madness affects us, so why care? My response to that is that it does affect us, and it affects us a lot. These crises have created an immigration disaster unlike the world has ever seen. It's caused people to pour across our southern border in search of refuge. These immigrants crowd American streets, take American jobs, and live in American houses. Now, overall, I would say this is okay. Because as I said, we need to be the nation that helps people and stops the things that cause them to come here from ever happening across the world. What I am not okay with, however, is our current administration's lack of control in our southern border region. Illegal or legal, I believe that all people who need refuge from these terrible events could come here and take refuge. But what I cannot believe is happening is the gang, cartel, and criminal organization members that have been allowed to cross. These are very bad people, folks, I tell you, very bad. They have caused crime, drug addiction, and gun violence to increase dramatically in our great country, and it needs to stop. If elected, I would stop by finishing the wall I first spoke of years ago and deporting millions of these illegal immigrants that have criminal records worse than murder. Now, for all these problems that I spoke on fixing today, our current administration is, in my opinion, to blame. Now, who is the vice president of this administration, if not my opponent, Kamala Harris? She promises that if she is elected, she will fix all the country's problems, but why hasn't she done it with her current position, I wonder? I completely understand the limits of the vice presidential position, believe me, but look at our president right now and how much influence she has over him. She could easily get these things done, but she chooses not to. Now, in my experience, if you're not good at your job, then you don't deserve a promotion. So why give Kamala Harris one? So tomorrow, when you vote, cast your vote for me. Tell Kamala you're fired and make America great again. God bless America, God bless Kentucky, and God bless the Corbin Red Hounds. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates. Now please direct your attention to the screen for two special videos from political leaders here in Kentucky.
Hello, Corbin High School, and welcome to Virtual City Hall. It's Mayor Susie Rasmus, class of '81 at Corbin, and I just want to say I'm really proud and excited for you all today to be engaging civically and learning all about the electoral process and participating in a mock election. I just want to encourage you all to stay informed. As far as the government is concerned, it's important for you to learn everything that you possibly can because these decisions will affect you in your real life in the future. And I'm really glad that the school has decided to do this mock election. Remember to just keep it civil with each other because, you know, you need to participate actively and you need to come to your own conclusions based upon your own thoughts and your own convictions, and that's okay if you disagree with each other. Some of my best friends are of a different political persuasion than mine. I love them dearly anyway, and so it's always really important to keep an open mind, to listen to both sides, and then vote your conscience at the end on what you think would be best. And this will really help you in the future when you are doing this for real, because it's not going to be long that you're going to be able to vote in a real election. So just learn everything that you can about this process because it really is important for you all to stay civically minded because the future of Corbin depends on you. So you all have a great time. Enjoy the process, enjoy each other, and may the best man or woman win. Take care.
Hello to everybody at Corbin High School. I'm so excited for your mock election. As most of you know, before becoming your lieutenant governor, I was a high school teacher. In fact, I taught history and civics, so this is right up my alley. I want to commend you for all your work in organizing this event. What you are doing is democracy in action. I hope you feel pride in your community, in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and in being an American. As an elected official, I urge you to use what you learned while planning this event to propel you to deeper civic engagement. We have serious challenges facing our society, but I am so encouraged when I meet young leaders like you. You are the future of our Commonwealth, and I know that means that we are in good hands. So may God bless you. May God bless Corbin High School, and may God continue to bless the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
And now for a brief message from our current president, Mr. Joe Biden.
Hello. As this wonderful program comes to a close, I want to urge you to consider the importance of unity and civility during America's political seasons. No matter where you fall on the political spectrum, it is important to remember that we are all Americans first and foremost. And because of that, regardless of the ideas that may divide us, it is our belief in certain unalienable rights that unite us as human beings. Remember that, folks. Go vote. Let your voice be heard. But respect your fellow man and woman. God bless CHS, and God bless America. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to personally thank everyone participating in today's 2024 mock election, as they have contributed to a very unique and memorable experience. And another thank you to the audience for their energy and engagement. Remember, democracy doesn't end here. It's something we live with every day. Let us carry this spirit forward and continue to shape the future together. Stay inspired, stay engaged, and never stop making your voice heard. Thank you, CHS, and one final round of applause.
Thank you.